on this computer. So we'll wait a little bit more. I hope it's going to be a small group. Maybe I change the font color a little bit so it stands out a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe we should do not this time, but like a workshop. Oh no, this doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Like a workshop to like hack websites, make like these things out of like commercial websites or someone else's website.
Hi everyone. We did not start yet. We were just playing because we were saying, well, why are we going to make websites? And we were saying we make weird websites, and that's why we are not using Wix. And then we just starting to hack Wix webpage.
So we claim to be the leader in. So if you go to wix.com, I don't know if you all know, but this is like, oh, that's not the page I saw. But basically that's the kind of the website where you can create your website, like portfolios and things like that. They claim to be the leader in website creation. So we all claim to be the leader in weird website creation. And if you click on start now, it goes to our website. I mean, this is just like just a joke. But people believe in these things, like we call it hacking. And you know, if you look at this, like it looks like a legitimate website, and that's, you know, also how phishing, you know, these bad people do these things. But as an artist, if you do these things, then it will be considered as artwork. So why not? So shall we slowly start? Is that the idea, or should we wait a little bit more? I guess it's okay. Let's start.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm Flor. Okay, I'm an artist. I'm a teacher, art teacher, professor. I live in Argentina, and I've been using Hydra since like 3 years ago, and I've been like starting some P5.js, I guess, last year, and a bit of HTML and CSS, and I've been really excited about playing with web pages besides like coding, because that's what I mostly do. And sometimes I do workshops, and we play a lot with Naoto, creating weird web pages. Can you say hi, Naoto?
Okay. And yes, the other half is Naoto. I will also make weird web pages. Like this is my portfolio. You can see that how I'm into making web pages. And I love these under construction GIFs that we'll introduce later. And for example, I'm so into it that I made an exhibition using these under construction GIFs in real life. Okay, so shall we just go to the HTML?
Okay. I need to ping you to see you better. Okay.
Oh yeah, is it okay like this, or should I like make myself bigger? Myself bigger. I forgot. Is it pin or spotlight? Spotlight, maybe. And then I can just hide myself.
Great.
And
okay.
Maybe... Yes, you can just start.
Okay, so we were saying just that we like this idea to to think about creating weird web pages, maybe from this start point, maybe thinking about this idea that we are using HTML and CSS, because this is like the structure of a web page, like every web page you see when you join the internet world. So you have HTML that is like the structure of your website. So that's why we put the emoji of the DNA. And then you have a CSS that give us like the styling. So that's why we put nails. Thank you. Yeah. So now share the link of today's workshop. And so you have different kind of HTML tags that are going to, well, indicate what you should change. For example, in the head, you have like all the information, like the metadata. It would be like whatever you want, for example, like a title or add some libraries or like export some other files, like for example, some JavaScript document into your web page. And then you have, I don't know if you want to say something else now about this.
Yeah, I mean, anything that is not shown in the page, but like also, what is that, what it's called? SEO, like for search engine, what, you know, kind of information that your web page is providing, all these kind of, like if you are making serious website, you should really look into this and write all these lines in header, but we are not making this, well, we'll make it playful. So we try to make the skip as much as these difficult parts, and we put contents in this body and CSS and try to make something that's visible. Not so if you're trying to make your business grow through your website, probably this is not the right workshop. But if you want to make images and try to play with it, that's you're right at the right place.
So that is something that, for example, this Wix website has. If you inspect the console in the browser, you can see this structure in every basically web page.
Yeah, so it's actually interesting exercise to do. Like I don't know if you have to enable like developer mode or something, but basically any website is built with this same structure, even if it's made with Wix or WordPress or something. If you view the page source, you see all these tags everywhere and these scripts. And if you can like also like you can just copy it and use it to your website, and it might work, it might not work. But this is like you know, like actually a quick way to learn what people are doing. I mean, this is really difficult to read. I mean, I don't actually know what's happening here, but yeah, like we're not going to go into this inspector and stuff, but there are so many tools that you can actually inspect what's happening, what is the font they're using, what is the CSS styling, so you can actually like copy legally from other websites.
Yeah, and I also think it's like a nice exercise to, I don't know, if you like a web page, just check what's going on there and see, maybe you can read and try to understand what is happening. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, you can also check Flor's website, what's happening. Does she have anything interesting? I don't know. Anyways, she has like this. Also, like you can add comments, so you can check this automatic slideshow images, so you know that these, I don't know, this is a bit cryptic, but that's doing the image transition and stuff like that. It's, you know, something to look at once you're more familiar with HTML. So do you want to talk about this, or should we skip? We did because Hydra is probably like not what we can do today because of the time.
Yeah, or maybe we can show this by the end if we have some time.
Yeah, also like we added like a different like collection of websites we've been making. Again, it's not like a commercial website that has like everything in the page, but it's rather very minimal. Often we make web page that is just like one page. For example, like if you look at this one, this is what Flor made, and it's, I'm gonna stop the sound for myself. Like it's, I think you've already taken like a workshop in the past hour, so you know, like, you know, this can be done with P5.js and drawing text, and that's the whole web page. Like there's no menu, there's no description, but that's also okay. And there's sound. That's, you know, that can be a playful way to work with websites. I don't know if this was. Oh no, I'm using the camera, so I cannot. Or something very minimal. This is actually the web editor, P5.js editor. Probably some of you already know, but we're going to use it so that it's, you don't have to register and you can start creating these animations with, this is just P5.js, but you can add more text within this web editor. Yeah, and the link is there, so feel free to explore some of those.
Yes, also these web pages have sound, so we can hear that, but I don't know if there is like need fit.
Yeah, also like this, I just wanted to, I skipped the video here, but basically this is a nice video, like I think it's like 10 minutes. I'm not going to show it right now, but basically they feature artist Olia Dialina. She's famous for taking the websites from GeoCities, which is already unfortunately taken down, but that's the what people used to make, like these web pages by themselves, like before people started using like Facebook and stuff. And basically they have some kind of trend in these GeoCities that she collected. Like there's like moving GIFs and like under construction, or these yeah, like topics about anime, and always like background has like a nice texture, like these starry images. So that's kind of the inspiration that we kind of look at, like it's like late 90s, early 2000s aesthetics. And some of these, yeah, like in the video in 2009 already, GeoCities is taken down, like they shut down, so we cannot see it anymore. And unfortunately, what we see today's web is like you go to like Facebook, Instagram, and everything is like packaged in their thing, or like even like Wix, they offer. I'm not completely against Wix, but you have these options to like build your website in a certain way. But you know, why not, like in GeoCities era, you can add like sound, you can add like background, which is kind of looks a bit ugly, or maybe you like it. But these things that maybe it's interesting to revisit, or I think actually it is kind of reviving now, I think, in very niche community. So that's something we are trying to do today. Are we?
Maybe I think it's cool also to show this Don't Party. Do you want to show?
Yeah. So this is another experiment I've been doing. Oh, why is it loading? By the way, this is called glitch.com, which I also recommend a lot. Today, I'm not going to show it because you have to register and it might take time. So I thought it's easier to start with the web editor on P5.js. But basically, glitch.com is way to create your websites. Like you can have your own domain like this without paying. And every page you can add HTML, CSS, and all these JavaScripts to make a fancy website by yourself. Like not, they don't offer, like they offer templates, but it's not the way that like Wix would do. So yeah, I don't know what I can do. I can just like change text. So now it says CCFest party, I mean CCFest.
But by the way, I think maybe it's good to maybe explain a bit what you are doing, because Naoto adapted like this idea of HTML tags. We were talking about like the structure, for example, this first P element, it's the P element tag. So it's basically text, and then it has align and weight, shadow, font. These are like CSS elements. So it's like coding the HTML and CSS elements.
Yeah, basically I created a playground where you can code your own CSS, but in a, how do I say, fluid way. I just cleaned it up and you can, I just posted in the chat. So if you are interested, you can start. I think if you load it, it's not going to be the cluttered thing, not the party, but you will see the CCFest text, and then you can change, I don't know, align left. No, it doesn't do anything. Weight, maybe 300. So it's thinner, or maybe you can make it size bigger. It's inspired by a live coding environment called Hydra, that we've been talking a lot. It's made by Olivia Jacques, and the idea is that Olivia is actually someone worth mentioning because she is kind of, I think, leading this movement of weird web pages. And she made this page called Hydra, where you can code like live code, and then immediately that will show up in the background, and you can change images and so on. And the funny thing is that you can change these functions, like P5.js, if you're familiar with or processing, you write like one line after another, and you can kind of build up images like that. But in Hydra, you can chain these functions, and that's how the images are made, and like this. And that's where I took the inspiration, and I thought, okay, maybe it's interesting not just to work with the textures, but what if I work with these tags? What else I can do? I think I can do iframe of Hydra. And
yeah, I did that yesterday, and I don't know, my computer didn't like it, but it works.
Okay. Oh, wow. So it does work. And I think the thing is, the text is, I don't say text anymore, but anyways, so I can kind of make a mashup of different websites. Although because of the limitation of modern web, for example, if you have this google.com, you cannot just put it there because of the security and blah, blah. See, like it says Firefox cannot open this page. It's a bit lame, but that's how they protect your security. but some web pages like Hydra, you can merge into your web page as an iframe. Do we have an example of iframe or no? Maybe we don't have.
Maybe we don't.
Yeah, well, but it's okay. We'll look into, start with the text, because that's one of the important element of a website.
Ted is asking, what's the URL of this CSS page? Or are you playing within Hydra?
That's the one I posted, this don't party, this long page. That's where I created this, and then you can change the numbers or add more things. But it's still like under development, so I don't post it often, but sometimes I play with it. Okay, so shall we make web pages or websites?
Yes.
How do we do it? Should I just show it here, or I think it's better if I just like do it from scratch, because this looks like it's cheating.
Okay.
So this is a link to the web editor of P5.js. Some of you may be familiar. If you already have your account, it's better to log in. If you don't have, don't panic. You can register later, and without registration, you cannot save, but you can still play with it. So yeah, as you like. And the first thing is, what's the first thing? What do we, in the material, it says scrolling text. So basically, if you open the web editor, it shows the JavaScript first. But today we don't want JavaScript, for now at least. So I just select all and delete it. And instead, I open this one here and press index.html. And if you have questions, or if you're lost, please feel free to unmute or write in the chat, because we're easy and it's not a big group, so we can just follow up anytime you want. Now, so this is the HTML, is that right? And
yes.
as Flor said, there's head, and this head with the slash is the one that closes the heading, and the body is where things will be shown. So what I'm going to do is
can I say just something that, for example, you have this script tag, and that's what you connect P5.js and P5 sound into this web page. So that's why P5 works inside this web page.
So in fact, this original page looks super simple, but what's happening under the hood is not just loading the sketch file, but it's loading the P5.js library and add-on P5 sound.js, and that's how it's working. But today, well, for now, today actually we're going to look at P5.js as well, but for now I don't want this, and instead I will write hello. I don't even spell hello. Hello world. And this is the button to refresh, to start the page. And now we have hello world. And I don't know, we can add emojis, I guess. I don't know how people type emojis in, but in Windows, you can do Windows key and dot, period, and then you can have these emojis. Oh yeah, sometimes it takes a few times to load, so you just click again, and now you can see the emoji in the preview window as well. But now this is really boring, and Oh, thanks. For the Mac, you can open the emoji keyboard with Command Control Space. And so this is boring. So what I want to do is to add tag around it. So I added some new lines so that I can work it easier. And actually, these new lines don't affect the preview. Like if you say after new line in a like a Word or like text editor, you would imagine that there will be like new lines here, but they won't add it, which is kind of at first it sounds a little bit strange. And if you want to add new line, you have to add this thing every time. And this is not the best practice for adding spaces in the web page, but today we don't care. So we just do it like this. Like if you want to add more space, you can just do like this, and you can have more space here. And your teacher will say this is not the way to do it, but we don't care. Okay. And always like these how to say it, greater than like these brackets. This is the kind of the tag. And also your teacher would say this is not, you never use this, but we use it because it's funny. So how you type it is marquee, put it in the chat as well. I hope it's right. Yes. So if you add marquee, the one I posted, and then text, and then close it with marquee, but with a slash inside.
You should make like a sandwich with.
Yeah, the sandwich. Always, not actually always, but most of the time you make a sandwich with these tags, and what's inside, the ham or cheese, is the one that's going to be shown. And now you can see the hello world animating. And I think it's kind of weird that the T is moving. So I would add some random emojis that might be more moving. Cool. Oh no, it disappeared again. It doesn't like emojis somehow. I never saw it before. Oh, something wrong happened. Okay, anyways. And okay, so you can just copy it again and again, and you can have different emojis and they will be moving together. Maybe it takes time to load the emojis or what? Why homepage? Could you talk a little bit about why homepage, or just like early internet history and what draws you to it? I think one reason is it's about history. It's maybe it's a kind of boring to say it this way, but it's nice to learn what was there before and what people have done. Especially if you want to make how they say like artwork as a web page, then you cannot just make something cool. Like you have to learn what was there before so that you can build something on top of it. That's like a kind of boring answer. And also a bit more serious answer would be right now, like people are concerned with like securities or like privacies with all these giant companies, tech companies like Google, Facebook, and we just use these tools all the time, and we never like build our own web pages. So it's not just like a funny experiment to do like to revive these HTML like old techniques, but also it's important to see what's the other ways to show your contents. For example, like if you have images, you can of course post on Instagram, but you can also have an option to make your own web page. And for example, if you make image tag, image source, I don't know where to find the images. I have my own image hosting server. Hello, Jorge. And I can, it's like my Instagram, but it's not on Instagram. And I can put these links here. And if I press start, then on my web page, his image is here. I mean, I'm also there, and also hello world. And you can like make your own page like this instead of like using these, you know, Facebook, Twitter, because they collect all the information from you. And also like if they, once they decide to, like, it's a bit same as GeoCities, but once they decide to take down contents or like censorship without like, you know, with not like a proper meaning reasons, they can just take down because they're just not doing for like a good like not a volunteering, but they're doing for their own profit, so they can take down contents, and then that's going to be a problem. Like if you want to express yourself, I think it's a strong asset to have. Like if you can build your own web pages like this, it's actually not so hard. You just have to practice, and that will be good tool asset for you to, yeah, like show images, show text. Like you can, you know, of course you can write and post articles on medium.com, for example, but you can also write my amazing article and post it as web page.
I think it's important also to think, but maybe this as an artist, maybe like a statement, like to think how you want to express yourself and how you want to say something, and mostly on the internet, because in this context that we are mostly every day using technology and this virtual space, it's important to at least making ourselves conscious and take some decisions of how do you want to tell something. And also because maybe this workshop is like of intended to be like non-functional, because what Naoto was saying, we have like already a lot of presets and stuff that we are not making our own choices of how we want the internet to be like, and also to how we want to navigate on the internet, how we want this space to be like.
And if you look at these examples, I think the most important tool is for Element is to have this under construction. That's something we never saw anymore, but back in the days, you have your own web page, and part of the section you make, yeah, like you have your blog section, but it's actually what you see is actually this under construction, which means that there's no content there. So let's put it there. Let's put it in my page. So what I'm going to do is to look at this page there. I don't know who's maintaining this page, but if you go there, there's a lot of under construction GIFs from GeoCities, and there's so many kinds. There, like these small ones, also like a more like a banner, like long ones with animation, of course, different colors, a bit like 3D-ish. So I'm gonna just pick one. What would be nice? I don't know which one you like.
I like the one with the paint hand drawing under construction.
Like this one?
Yes.
Okay, so how you add it is first, let's go back to the web editor, and I'll just like delete Jorge's image for once, and again in the body you add this image tag, and image tag is, there's no closing. It's a bit of weird one, but instead inside, not outside, here you add source, src, and these quotation marks. And that's where we specify the URL. And if I want this one, I would right click on it. And there's something like copy image link, or I don't know what it's called in your browser. I think this is Firefox, but on Chrome or different operating systems, it will be different. And basically, you copy it, or you can just like just drag it, and if you put it in this URL like address bar, it will show the whole thing, and also it has this whole link on the address bar. So you just like copy it, and back to the web editor and place it here, paste. And if I load the page again, you will see that the under construction banner is there, which is a little bit weird because, for example, like if you change the size of the window, it always stays the same. It's not like responsive. So we have to add, do we add CSS? I think we should add CSS. Okay, so the image tag is working. And now, like as Flor said, there's this file called style.css where we specify the, like the style. And because we want to change the style of the image, we start with the image. It's a bit like JavaScript, but it's not the same. And here I would say width is 100% and always end with semicolon. Height is photo. And now when I change the size of the page, you can see that it kind of follows the size. I'll post it in here. Actually, I'm really bad at CSS, so I was like so nervous typing this. It's actually really funny because you can also add, how do you do the transform? Or no, you can like do so many things like margin maybe, or padding. If you do this, then you see that there's a little bit of offset around the banner. And these like, it's like a, you know, like a design or like printing, like you define all these like constraints, geometries around the object, or display block would behave differently. Oops. Did it crash? No.
No.
Oh no, this is not the display block. Is it inline? Then yeah, if you do like display inline, then the following text is coming right after the image instead of on the new line. All these like little things, it looks like so hard, and you can like spend like hours and hours and hours trying to figure out like what you want. But yeah, that's a tool, CSS, to define how you want to place objects. Is there anything like you always use as a CSS?
Me?
Background color.
Yeah, maybe.
Background color is the easy one that changes the background color, obviously. I would put it inside the HTML and body so that it affects the whole thing. And also you can do color, red. Then it's a little bit confusing. Background dash color is for the background color. And if you say color, just color, that's the font color.
How would you, for example, change the text size?
Text size, font size. I don't know what's the right way to do it. Maybe like just 20 pixels. And always this unit is important. 20 pixels. Now it's becoming something actually. Box shadow, that's like a bit fancy one. And always like if you search, I mean, you can find all these information on the Google search, but where you should go always is the MDN web docs, because that's the official one. Don't go to what is it? Other websites. Basically, like if you search for box shadow, you will see like this W3 schools, CSS tricks, but always like try to make a habit to see this one first, because it's actually nice. They have all these like interactive examples, and I like this one, so I would copy it and I will put it here. So now you see that my banner has a red shadow around it. Okay.
We could add like a iframe. Oh,
yeah, iframe would be nice too. Okay, that image at CSS is going to be applied for the image on HTML, all image, yes. How can we have different images? Okay, that's, I think, something we should definitely look at, because this is not convenient, because, okay, I want to add another image. Like one under construction is not enough, so I would add another image, source this, and then I go back to this website, and yeah, I want to have this animation. So I will do this again, copy the link, and then I put it back in. Now the problem is, as Emma said, this shadow is applied on all the images, but I want to separate them. And one way to do it is to add class, exactly. It goes like this, or we can do ID, but let's say we use a class and red shadow. And another one has class equals not yellow shadow, blue shadow. And at this point, they will behave still the same, because this red shadow and blue shadow doesn't exist in the style yet. So what I'm going to do is, instead of this image, I want to have this red shadow, and this is going to be, yeah, basically you have to do dot red shadow. That's, if you start with the dot, that's the class name. If you start with the, what is it called, sharp, that's the ID name. And if you don't have anything before the name, that's the tag name. So this time it's red shadow. And also I'm going to copy it and make a blue shadow, which probably this is not the best way to do it, but I will naively do it this way. And I put it in the chat. Also, I put this just in case, if you need. And if you run it, yes, now you see that one image has red shadow and one other one has a blue shadow. And of course, not just the color, you can change these parameters, or you could change the size to have like completely different parameters for each class. And what is more, this time, because I'm using these kind of generic parameters, like box shadow doesn't have to be always with the image. So I didn't introduce it yet, but P is the paragraph, and P is the paragraph. And P paragraph can also have a class. And if I say blue shadow, then hopefully, yeah, it's not what I expected, but it has like this a bit of blue shadow underneath. And I don't know how to make it nicer.
It could have a background, another color background.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, and also like right now, this paragraph has just one class, but you can also add like two classes, like background white. There's a new class that I don't have it yet. So I go back to the CSS and say background, was it white? And here I would write background color white. So what's happening here is that with this two classes, it combined two classes together and yeah, took all the parameters from both. So now it has white background color. I can even change the font color to black so that only the paragraph that has this class is black now, but the other ones are still red. It's getting really confusing, and I think it's the best way to learn it is just to change the parameters and see what's going to be what's going to happen basically.
What about iframe?
Oh yeah, iframe. That's something we should add, I think. So now we have the scrolling text and this, but I think I want to have a clock on my web page because you always need a clock. Don't ask me why. Iframe is it iframe like source? I actually forgot how to write it. Like this?
I think so.
No, it says it must have a value. I hope so. The website I really love is called time.is, and oops. If you go to this https time.is/just, then you have a nice page just showing the time. And you can put it in here. Yeah. So with this, like even like without writing JavaScript, I have a clock on my web page. The scroll is a little bit weird, but yes. And if I want to change the size, again, I go back to the CSS, and this time it was iframe. So iframe width is, I don't know, 500 pixels. Is it going to work? Yes, now it's a bit bigger, but I want to make the height also a bit bigger, like this. And yes. Right now it's a little bit weird because we are always working in an editor, and but this one I think you have to save it. I think you have to log in, and once you're logged in, wait a second.
Does anyone have a question? Just write in the chat or just speak.
I actually forgot my password.
Thoughts on the small web like Gemini?
What is it? I actually don't know.
No, me neither.
I've never been on it, but it's just like a different protocol, and there's like a small community of people who are building their own like Gemini web pages, but it's not as customizable as like the web that we're used to. So I think they only let you have like a select few HTML tags, and there's like no CSS. Like the CSS is dependent on like what client you're using to access Gemini.
Interesting.
Related in vibe to what you guys are into, so I was just curious if you have opinions on it.
I don't know about that one, but that reminds me of hot glue. This is also
I was just thinking the same.
yeah, interesting tool where you can I actually never used it. Is there like a demo? Yes, there's a demo. Basically, like yeah, if you click on it, yeah, and I would post a direct link to the demo, and you can add like how can I add a text? Yeah, like upload background image. I don't know if I have a nice image. Oh, I have one from the last workshop I took, and oh, but it's how can I add text? I don't know. I never like use it properly. But you can also like they say add custom code, and then oh yeah, you can like add like paragraphs and stuff. Thanks for the links. We'll check out later. Go to page. Oh yeah, the paragraph is hidden over here, but yeah, I would say
maybe
like,
it's black.
Yeah, it's black. But maybe this is like a nice workshop idea for the next time, like to quickly make a web page, and you can like this on this demo. But if you register on hotglue.me, you can have your own domain assigned, and then you can make your pages. And also, it also has this iframe. I thought so. I don't know where, but basically you can add other pages into your page. I don't know if it's possible. Anyways. Okay, so in the material, CCFest material page, we have this scrolling text under construction. And oh yeah, this is actually a nice one. Like, I don't know if everyone's already like familiar with P5.js, but if so, for this one, I wouldn't code from scratch because I'm a bit afraid of doing it wrong. But basically, if you open this link, there's always already a template. And you start, you can see that these stars and the welcome text. But what is different from like regular P5.js sketch is that this welcome text is what the file we were working on, this index.html, welcome from index.html, and it's not in JavaScript. Like you can also make text inside the JavaScript with this text function, hello from JavaScript. Oh, yeah, of course I need to set the position. Yeah, but it looks a little bit, the resolution looks a little bit bad, and the ones from the index.html looks a bit better. And it's like, because of the CSS inside index.html, this is format a little bit nicer. And you can write fairly long text, blah, blah, blah. And this is something I would really recommend people to try. Like if you're already familiar with P5.js, combining P5.js with HTML is so powerful because P5.js is good at some things like drawing stars. But on the other hand, like styling with like CSS, putting images, sometimes it's better with HTML. So this sketch is like showing the combination of two.
How about just a quick showing Hydra sketch?
Yeah. Sorry, was I like posting every time in the waiting room or what?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, it was.
I don't know, but
okay. That's
everyone
too bad.
Everyone can see.
No one asked, so it's okay. Okay, so if we go back to the page, was it here or no? Now I'm really lost. There's so many things here. Okay, so yeah, I think it's nice to check out the example from Olivia.
Yes.
Web page. Do you have the link? I think I found it. So basically, the sketch I just shared is the one that you can use P5.js inside HTML. But this is another one from Olivia Jack. She's the creator of this Hydra, where you can code these amazing visuals from fairly simple code. And yeah, we actually saw it already, like this one. But this is the editor that we saw earlier. And instead of like using as an editor, you can embed Hydra Sketch inside your web page. And yeah, edit the source of this page. And she's also using glitch.com, which is a place where you can like host web pages. And here, because I already logged into Glitch, I can remix to edit. And then, but do you have like a, Flor, do you have a template for web editor? Because right now I'm showing it on glitch.com, but you can actually use Hydra inside P5.js web editor, I think.
Hydra inside of P5.js.
I think you can do it.
Don't.
For example, like what you need is this thingy. So I will make a new sketch, and again, like this heading of like head of the index.html, you need to add this thing. And
I think you didn't close the tag.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. This way. So this, and then in the sketch, we're not going to use P5.js right now, but we're going to use Hydra like this. This is just I copied from Olivia's example. I don't even need this. And then this is the code from Hydra. So you can do it like this inside the JavaScript sketch.js. And I think this is too much to talk about how to use Hydra. That's another workshop. But we have some materials on the like video tutorials on YouTube. So if you're
Yes,
interested,
for example, you could add like a GIF on top of it.
exactly, that's where we're gonna combine things. So I don't even know where my yeah, this is the one I was looking for. We were working with this, and I'm gonna have this under construction GIF in this one again, index.html. In the body, I put this image, and now we have the under construction and Hydra. And of course, if you're addicted, if you really like P5.js, why not adding P5.js as well? Back red. Oh, yeah. There's like an error, but we can ignore. And now we have the GIF and Hydra. Okay, I want Hydra to be a bit more interactive. How do you use it? Mouse.x?
Mouse.x.
Like this. So the Hydra is now reacting to the mouse. And of course, I want that for P5.js as well, inside draw, circle, mouse, X, mouse, Y, 3. So we have so many things inside the page. And that's a nice thing about the HTML, that you can just add more and more things to it. Like even if it's like JavaScript, P5.js, or Hydra, or what else do we use? Tone.js for sound, like all these things, you can just add everything into it. Like if you're working with Java, like working with libraries, you can add more things, but it might be a little bit more difficult. And with HTML, it's so easy.
Okay, is there any question? I guess we are running out of time.
Oh, yeah, like maybe 5 more minutes. I don't know. We can talk about what we did with these experiments on the CCFest material. Like for example, this is the project Glitch Me that Flor and I did together. And no, oh no, it's not gonna work. It's okay. And if you go there and if you change the parameters, this is made with Hydra again, but it's combined with like so many other things. And you will see that your image also reacts to what I'm doing now on my window. So I think this thing is affecting your browser as well. I don't know. Is it working?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't see anyone changing the effects. So that's one thing. Oh yeah, someone changed it. So it's kind of not really functional, but more playful. And other things like this one, Flor made this thing where you can, if you click on it, it will make sound. And also you can type. I don't think this is like synchronizing with others, but the nice thing is that this is using the text area, like HTML, I think. I can look at it.
Yes.
yeah, this is like text area tag. It's something like really normal. Like if you want to do like text input with processing, it's quite complicated, but because of HTML, you can use it easily, and also you can connect that to Hydra or P5.js and other things. And for example, this one is what I made with, but again, I cannot have the webcam. Can I? No, I think I have to connect another webcam. But basically, other maybe like more another playful library would be face tracking. And I think this one I used face tracking to detect the face, or maybe not. No, this is not actually face tracking. This is just a mouse that you can move around, and then it also makes some kind of small glitches with the P5.js array. So anyways, like you can spend a lot of time with this, and I guess we have to close, and we're gonna go back to the main session. But thanks for coming, and if you made interesting things, please share with us. Our contact is on the bottom of the page, and if you have questions, just feel free to write us. Download and share chat. Yeah, the recording will be uploaded online on YouTube, and also I'm gonna pick interesting links and post it on the YouTube as well. So don't worry. Yeah, thanks for coming, and we'll see you in the last keynote.